Good morning. It is Wednesday, September 3rd, and I don't even want to do this today, quite honestly. A little bit rough. So we still have the moon in Scorpio. It's being ruled by Saturn retrograde in Pisces, that emotional work, the spiritual work, getting yourself grounded, actually doing the work, being patient with yourself, having the boundaries, things of that nature. Moon made an opposition to Jupiter in Cancer, and it has already made a square to Mars earlier this morning. Doesn't make any more aspects until way early tomorrow morning before it moves into Aquarius. This is a deeply emotional energy. There could be some big outbursts today. Things could feel very over the top. That Jupiter and Mars being in this square is a lot of conflict between the emotions, the intuition, the wanting to help other people, but also your intuition's kind of kick in because Jupiter is also in a trine to the North Node in Pisces, as we are just a few days away from the Pisces lunar eclipse. So you're really starting to see things differently, but we have a lot of people that are wanting to double down on the escapism of Pisces, the romanticizing of Pisces type of energy, and that is what is going to be conflicting us, where we have this Mars in Libra, where we're seeing passive aggressive tactics, sometimes aggressive tactics. Also the idea of, here, I'm just trying to help you kind of energy, to try to force you back into a people-pleasing box, right? We've really got to start listening to our intuition, because there's a lot of stuff that is going to be changing soon, and we've got to make sure that we are in the right mindset to be able to navigate that clearly moving forward. Mars is being ruled by Venus in Leo, so there could be a lot of ego associated with this. A lot of look at me, I'm being so good to you, I'm helping you, why can't you just fall in line kind of energy going on here. There's just so many people right now that are still trying to stick their head in the sand and pretend like nothing's happening, and they are pushing back on anyone who is actually doing work on their emotional state and their spiritual beliefs. They are, having boundaries around these emotional work that you're doing, and that your spiritual beliefs and trusting your intuition. People are not going to like those boundaries, and it's starting to clash here is what's happening. So all that being said, throughout the day, we really just got to make sure we have good boundaries, okay? The bottom of the deck was the Six of Pentacles, that underlying, I just want to help, right? This is very Virgo energy. Sun is in Virgo, Mercury is in Virgo. This is very much I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to help you kind of energy, right? But the energy of the day is that Eight of Cups, that emotional, spiritual journey, that looking within and actually trying to dig into things so that you can get to that emotional fulfillment of the Nine of Cups. You don't get there by bypassing this. If you jump straight to the Nine of Cups, then you're not doing the work. It's not going to last long. You've got to do this here. You have to build the boundaries, right? Saturn rules Capricorn. You have to build your foundations. You don't build foundations by just skipping over it, right? You can't just rush through that. You have to actually tear things down, start fresh, and build new boundaries. Move slow, take your time, and make sure that you're defending this, because our focus of the day is strength, right? So see how strength is looking at this. Really make sure that you're having that strength to stand up for your emotional healing, having those boundaries, having the courage to stand up against people who want you to just fall in line and be happy. The people are like, why are you always being so down? Because things are rough and you need to make sure you're in a good place, right? Now, what we are avoiding is the King of Swords, okay? I've said this before, you don't need to be an asshole, you just gotta have the boundaries. Say what you need to say, let other people do what they're doing with it. You don't have to shout down at people, right? We don't want to take on that side of Mars and Libra, right? We don't want to take on that shouting people down to try to get them to see things our way, right? You just want to have boundaries around your healing and your belief systems and your intuition. So let's pull clarifiers for the Eight of Cups here. We have 10 of Pentacles, Temperance, and 10 of Swords, okay? Now, talk about how Temperance is the card that's between, my brain just stopped. What is it between? It is between death and the devil, right? So it's about learning how to like transmute these things into something that you can use, something that can get you where you're in control of your situations, right? So we might be seeing this like very painful ending of stability, right? I know we are, right? Like look at the world around us. We are seeing this very rough energy, and we need to make sure that we're actually working with it to transmute it into something usable, right? We're transmuting from the emotional, watery, this emotional water over here into this usable fire here, right? So we really want to make sure that we're doing the work so that we can actually function as things get harder in the world. Clarifiers for strength. Can't walk around with rose-colored glasses your whole life, okay? We have Page of Swords and one more, please. Five of Wands. That's right. Have that courage to defend yourself, to defend your healing, to defend your belief systems, right? Because we've got the gossipers and the petty arguments happening here. This is that Mars in Libra that is fighting against that Jupiter in Cancer, right? That emotional work that we're doing, right? So really make sure as you're standing up against all of this pettiness, the gossiping, the people that are always over here trying to like get information, right? Like they always ask intrusive questions. Like those people, right? Stand up against yourself. Listen to your intuition. If you feel like someone's being shady with their questions, go on ahead and shut it down, right? And they're going to fight back against it. There's going to be a lot of pettiness in the air these next few days, okay? Clarifiers for the King of Swords, please. We have Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Swords. So, man, we're not gonna go off on people. We're not gonna run our mouths. We're not gonna be assholes. We're just gonna set the boundaries and leave it at that, right? And then Queen of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. This is like, again, that mental clarity and speaking that mental clarity. Your Queen of Pentacles is all about stability, right? And being stable in who you are and what you believe, what you think, right? But that's your thoughts. That's your stability. What is abundant to you, what you think is right for you, is not what's right for everybody else. You don't have to force those on other people. You just have to defend your own, and that's it. Bottom of the deck is Death. There's a lot of endings going on, a lot of endings, and these are going to lead to transformations, but it is going to be a very long, hard road to get there. There needs to be a complete destruction before the rebuild, right? We've got to stop acting like this, Pluto is such a beautiful energy because it's transformative. It's transformative because it completely destroys before it can be rebuilt. And we've got to start getting realistic about that.